Jip Chop Joop. It's week 4 of CO interviews. Welcome everybody who's listening and or watching, but it's just listening because this is audio. I have with me TheMantis.
Hello, gamers.
You all love him,
Of course.
and he's a very interesting figure. So I'm here to ask him some questions. So I think to start, can we talk about how you got into Dota and your Dota history? I know you've been around for a while.
Yeah, I've been around since Dota All Stars 3.01, I think. And I got involved on the RTSgames.com forums was the start of my involvement, and I was a contributor in terms of hero content, and I was a global moderator on the Dota All Stars forum.com forums for about 4 years, and then I went to college, and I thought if I stopped being a nerd, I could get laid, but I'm still a virgin, so it didn't happen.
Well, there's someone for everyone.
Someday, dude.
How did you first find out about Dota, and how did you get involved?
It was just a Warcraft 3 lobby. I played Warcraft. I played the Frozen Throne when I was young. I was like, God, it must have been like a decade and a half ago. So I was like 12, and I just saw it. It was the coolest game. Everyone was when it came to like lobbies. There's like Footman Frenzy, and then there was Aeons of Strife, and then later Tides of Blood came around and was kind of a thing. But the big one was Dota All Stars, made by at the time Gins, and so that was when I started to play, and it just kind of snowballed.
How did you get into I know you helped design a bunch of heroes or items.
Yeah, it was on that first forum, rtsgames.com, and I had made a Mantis hero because I was the Mantis, and then I got a PM from some guy on the forum, and I didn't know who Nikes was at the time, so it was just like a random guy, and he said, "Hey, can I take this hero and then change it to, there's no Mantis models in the game," because the idea I had was make a green Crypt Fiend, which doesn't really look like a Mantis, but it's green and it's so whatever. And he was like, "Hey, can I just do this and then change it around slightly?" And instead of being mantises, it's just it's spiders. And the original, actually, it was funny when Monkey King came out, because the original idea for the in lane permanent invisibility wasn't webs, because it's a spider thing, and that was eventually changed. It was more like the Monkey King's ability to jump in trees. It was called camouflage, and that was the webs were spawned from that idea. It was just sort of transitioned over, and then it eventually just made its way into the game, because I had noticed that there was no Dota hero that used the wisp tree eating ability, the tree gathering ability from Warcraft 3, and so that was the Mantis's hide in tree, hide in lane type ability, and it just got turned into webs eventually.
So that became Broodmother?
Yeah, so that became Broodmother, and then he PM me, and I just kind of, after Nikes left, and then Ice Frog became the developer, they were like, "Hey, do you want to be the moderator for suggestions?" And which is where a lot of the ideas came from. And I was like, "Sure, whatever." And so I stuck around for a while.
Cool, really cool. Which heroes did you make, or at least help design?
Well, Brood was the one I had the idea of. It's kind of hard, actually, because I didn't think it was going to become a thing, so a lot of it doesn't stick in my memory. But there's a few that I know that I definitely had a part in, like Jakiro, me and a guy whose username was, I think, Evaor. He pops up in the credits as well. We're the primary ones who designed Jakiro. And then Spectre's remake. The original Spectre I didn't make. The remake of Spectre I was involved in with Evaor as well. The original Undyne was one of my creations. The new one I have nothing to do with, even though he's my favorite hero, ironically.
Cool.
And also, the one that is absolutely 100% traceable back to me is Mjolnir, which was the only thing that's different about it is that I called it Surge Bow, because it was an upgrade from Eaglehorn originally, and then it was changed from Eaglehorn to Hyperstone as one of the components. And but other than that, it's exactly the same as I proposed. The static charge ability, all that shit.
Well, that's cool. So 10 years of Dota? More?
Longer. 10 and a half, I'd say.
And you're still enjoying it? Still having fun?
It's, yeah, I guess.
Dota should be fun, right?
Dota is fun. Well, see, I didn't name my new team Dota Should Be Fun because I knew when I picked them that it would already be fun. So it was redundant.
How do you like your team? I mean, you picked them, so obviously you...
Yeah, I got a lot of shit for picking Danny third, but that was the best decision ever.
Danny
It was
third.
yeah, it was. Well, he was my third player. Like second. Hold on. No, he was third pick. Yeah, second player, third or fourth player, third pick. But that
Yeah.
allowed me to pick Cinny in the fourth round. And holy shit, that guy's god. The dude, he's like 3.8K, and he plays like a 5K. I think he's the third highest KDA right now in all of Seal. He's really, really good.
I've heard good things about him.
Yeah, and he gets every game he gets put up against like a high 5K. One game it was a high 5K plus a Jakiro. Like it was a high 5K Viper plus Jakiro against his Marana, and he didn't give up the tower until like 18 minutes. He's a fucking good.
So you guys are 3-3.
Oh, fuck that. We're 5-1, dude. We're top team, number one.
Wait, what?
Yeah, we're 5-1, dude. We're the us and Rack. We're facing off this week.
I read this wrong. Sorry. Yeah. 5-1.
Don't worry about it, dude.
Rack 9 team. They I think they only lost one match too. Yeah.
Pussies, dude. We're gonna crush.
Feel good about it?
Yeah. I mean, the only game we actually lost was because of a mechanical misunderstanding, so I'm not worried about it.
Sounds good.
It was, yeah, we didn't think the Ags Phoenix could reach literally across the screen, and then it did, and we lost, so whatever.
How do you like these leagues? You play in RD2L too?
Yeah, I mean, the RD2L team sucked. Whatever, like, you gotta break some eggs to make an omelet, but, like, I think that it's interesting because it presents a different set of problems when it comes to drafting in game. Like when you know that the supports are usually going to be the lower MMR players, it creates a different set of parameters that you want to draft around. For our team, it's different because Nuts is one of our supports, and he's a 4-8 player, and I'm usually the other support, and I'm also around like mid 4K. But when it comes to other teams, usually invis heroes or heroes that create that can be invis at any point in time create a lot of economic pressure. So like picks like Ricky and Marana are extremely high value, and we're undefeated on Marana on our team.
Wow, giving away strats.
Yeah, no, I mean it's fine. You can ban Marana. Well, I mean everyone's gonna ban Ricky because it's Dan. But I mean you can ban Marana if you want. I don't think it's like an inhibitor on us winning. We're gonna win anyway. But when it comes to leagues like this, like there's just a different set of parameters, and I think it's interesting because you listen to people like PPD or Swindles talk about how to draft in pro games, and you can take something from that, but it's also very different because there's a very broad skill gap between players on different teams, and you can exploit that in different ways.
And I think you're kind of unique in that you put or at least some higher MMRs. You have some higher MMR sports.
Yeah, we have I've been playing support more often than not, and we have two high 4K supports. Our carry is a high MMR as well, but our offlaner is sub 3K, and our mid sub 4K, and we're doing really well.
I mean, if it works, maybe you're on.
Maybe I am the best captain.
Maybe you are actually a brain genius.
It makes you think.
So have you played in other leagues before these then?
No,
been on teams?
Well, I played a lot of in-houses, and the Yeti in-houses, people like FC, Rain and Fire, Waifu, guys like that. We had a separate in-house league, but that community died down, and we sort of migrated out from there. Guys like Crap and all.
Yeah, a lot of them play in Steel and RD2 now.
Yeah. And that's because the J9DL, which is our original league, sort of died. Shout out to J913B, by the way, who is the inspiration for the J9DL, which rest in peace. He is one of the worst, in terms of like intrinsically understanding the game, not in terms of mechanical skill, just intrinsic understanding of how Dota works. He's one of the worst players I've ever seen. Shout out to him.
Are you one of the best?
Oh, I'm one of the worst mechanical players that's ever existed, but I'm like kind of like an inverse Eternal Envy. He's really good mechanically, but he has, let's say, questionable decision making sometimes. I have no mechanical skill whatsoever. Yeah, I have no mechanical skill at all, and like my mechanical skill, if you rated it on an MMR scale, would probably be like 2.75, like 2.75K, like not very good at all. But I make up for it in like positioning, decision making, and stuff like that.
Yeah, so cool. Let's see, what else can I ask?
What's the hard-hitting questions, dude? Beat me over the chest.
Which hand do you masturbate with? That comes directly from Truck Waffle.
Oh, dude, if I was a both-hander, that would be really sick. Like, I've heard the tech, but sadly, my dick's too small for that, so just pure right.
I actually have like a bunch of dumb questions from Truck Waffle. Look,
Dude, hit me with all of them. I'm down.
have you been in love?
Yeah, well, yeah. Once when I was in college, and then she cheated on me when she went to college. She was a year younger. It was a big crank.
Oh, so you've at least had a girlfriend?
Yeah, I
How
had
how far
one,
did you
dude.
get?
Don't worry about it.
Well, not far enough, I guess.
Yeah, I guess, dude.
Let's see,
How many dumb questions do you have left? I'm just kidding.
like 5.
Oh, hit me with all of them,
How do
dude.
you feel about cherry Pepsi?
Cherry Pepsi, underrated, but still not that good. Like people thought it was shit. I think it's like slightly below average.
What's
Not
your
a bad soda though.
What's your favorite soda then?
Favorite soda? You know what? It's been dead for about a decade, but fuck it, Surge. Surge was the shit.
Yeah, I don't even know what that is.
Surge, it was like a it was like a semi-energy drink, semi-Mountain Dew like crossover that I just like chugged the shit out of when I was in high school. That stuff got me through hell.
Okay, which animal do you relate with the most?
Mantis, dude, come on.
That was so dumb. Why did Truck even ask that? What the fuck?
Thank God for Truck Waffle, dude.
I want to know who is the person that you have celebrated your birthday with the most.
I guess I've been a roommate in law school. Her name's Katie. I lived with her for 2 years, and that would be literally the most, other than my family, because like no, I'm just a fucking autistic, like in like shut in nerd,
Wow.
and no one celebrates.
I'm sure
No
we'll
one
celebrate your birthday with you. When's your birthday?
November 27th. Oh, it's about a month. Yeah, November 27th.
Dude, I'm sure we'll have like a special celebration.
Hell yeah, dude! Mantis Day and see. Thank God.
Mantis Day. I'm gonna make it happen.
It was always Thanksgiving, so like in high school, everyone would be on vacation and be like out of town and shit. So it only really got celebrated when I was in college.
What's been your favorite patch in Dota? Can you even remember?
Favorite patch? Yeah, 536. The really unbalanced one. I love 536. Like everyone was broken. Conjurer could like just push a lane in 2 minutes. And just the
Conjurer.
game is over. Yeah, Conjurer. He had all of his abilities were some. He had summon golems. His ultimate was summon phoenixes. This was the patch I think where Pudge had carrion flies that had 95% evasion and just like shit all over your face. Really fun patch. Ricky still had Death Ward. It was really cool.
This makes me feel really young.
Yeah, you should, dude. I love 536 and 584 were like the if you played Dota back in the day, like those are the definitive 2 patches in Dota 1, where 536 and then like 584C, I think it was. Like those were the 2 big patches that lasted for like a year plus, and just had like retarded shit all over the place.
Is it
Conjure
cool? Is it cool to see
Conjure
it
was
develop?
do what?
Has it been cool to see like Dota develop into this huge thing?
It's I want my royalties first of all, but like secondly, I kind of feel disconnected from it because there was something that I felt like it was very like when I was doing it when I was a kid, it was just a mod for a game that didn't like matter and like no one cared, and it was very like I don't know. I felt like, and I was also involved in the community for Rome Total Realism, which is a Rome Total War mod, and like I kind of categorize them the same way, which is just like it's just a mod for a game that I like a lot, and I like the mod even more. And so I just sort of filed it away in my brain when I went to college as like stuff I did in high school that was kind of cool. So when I saw it develop, like and I got back into Dota when I was in like 2012, 2013, I was like, holy shit, like this is actually kind of a big deal now. And it's just kind of like it's kind of surreal, I guess.
Cool. Yeah.
Any more truck? Please tell me you got more truck waffles.
Truck waffle questions. Do you prefer short or long hair?
On myself or women? Is it
Both?
inferred to be women?
I don't think it. How about both?
On myself, I like long hair because like it kind of substitutes for having a personality, which I don't have. On women, I like short hair. I don't know why. I think I have like a lesbian fetish, maybe.
You wear that hat all the time?
Yeah. You know what? I thought about it, but my hairline isn't quite short enough to justify wearing a hat all the time. It's like it's pretty bad, but it's not there yet.
Okay. Who out of CO would you model the next hero after, and why would it be Truck Waffle?
If I had to model a hero and seal after anyone, it would be Luth. and it would be the consummate support hero because he is the consummate support player.
What abilities?
I think he'd be like a support / offlane hybrid hero that was primarily based around armor. I had a couple of ideas for that one, and then never quite got through. But I think it would be a hero who had like a damage ability based on how much armor he had, and like had armor buffing ability. And it'd be very cool. And it would be Luth because he's the. Also, your roommates sound like they're a lot of fun, and I wish I was there.
Dude, they're absolute monkeys.
I don't like my team, dude. My team is a bunch of fucking jackals.
Your team? Have fun?
Yeah. No, they're the brain geniuses.
This one's from Rack 9. How well have your teams adapted to your have fun attitude at potentially the cost of winning?
There is no cost of winning. This is from Rack 9. Well, the thing is, when you're playing in a league like this, having fun and winning are more or less the same thing. If you're not having fun, you're just.
I believe that.
And I don't mean that in the sense that like of a moral win. I mean that in the sense of if you're getting to play the hero you wanted to play in a lineup that makes sense and you're enjoying yourself, you're gonna win more games than you lose, even if you're under skill because our team is well below average MMR compared to other teams, especially if you include the fact that Nuts hasn't played in like 6 months. We're extremely below average MMR, but everyone gets to play what they want every game. And we have coherent lineups that make sense, and it's just a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, this league is about fun.
Yeah, and that's why I'm the best captain of 2017.
I believe it.
Thanks, dude. I'll draft you next season.
Could you say the same about your RD2L team?
I think that I went too young with the team that I have right now in Seal, 5 out of the 6 players are 27 or older, and 659 is like 17. That sounds like so much fun, dude. Holy shit. No, but no, that's why it sounds like fun. No, but the RD12 team was extreme. Was probably average age was probably like below 20, and I think it's a mistake. I think you have to. I think when you get older, you just kind of want to have fun, and you're more willing to accept things that maybe necessarily don't make sense on the face of it. And then it turns out that your captain's a genius, and then you win.
So how does it feel to be playing Dota nearly as long as Chance has been alive?
It's actually funny. I've actually been playing Dota longer than I've not been playing Dota in my lifetime. Like, I've been playing Dota for about, 15 years? And then not been playing Dota for 12? It feels better than being Chance and being in Alaska, I'll say that. Oh, these guys sound fucking awesome. Where are you? Are you anywhere near Texas?
No, I'm in California.
God damn it! I want to be there, dude.
Sorry, dude.
That sounds awesome. Yeah, it's all good.
Anyways, I mean,
Chase is a good guy. I hope he gets better at mid because he's been putting in a hell of an effort on our RD2L team. He's very nearly carried a couple of our games.
Dude, he seems like a wonder kid.
I think he could be a wonder kid if he didn't have I think Alaskan internet discouraged him from becoming a wonder kid, and that if he would have lived in like near a one of the servers, that he would have become like a 6K god or 7K god.
Yeah.
Yes.
I firmly believe that, by the way.
I mean, alright, so about this stuff, I've been muting my microphone in the recording whenever they talk.
Yeah.
So, but like, it still comes through to you, I guess.
So it's just gonna be me responding to nothing.
Yeah, unless I want to.
Do you want to do the whole thing over again?
No, it's fine. Like, I have the questions here. I mean, that's.
You have a concussion?
I mean, that's all I have, I think.
A concussion?
No, questions.
Oh, questions. Oh, okay, yeah. If that's all the questions you have, then yeah, dude.
Do you have any callouts or shoutouts?
I have several. How much time do you
have? As long as you want, dude. Get them all out.
Okay, well, first of all, Rack 9, your team's gonna get shit on this week. Like, there's no. I mean, have you seen this play? Like, you're gonna get annihilated. There's no. The only time we actually lost is we had a 46,000 gold lead and we just didn't know how the Phoenix ulti worked. If you can find another mechanic that obscure, like, go for it, dude. Otherwise, you're gonna get shit on. Like, there's no doubt. And it's gonna be 2-0, and then Second of all, Chance, you said you wanted to face us at some point in Seal. You better start winning, motherfucker, because you're not anywhere near us right now. If you want to face us in Seal, we're not going to stop winning anytime soon, so you better win every game. We got Truck Waffle. Your record speaks for itself. Potato Farmer, I don't even know how you're doing, but fuck you. Who else we got? Paradise, you're a bitch for not playing this year. Anything? Let me think.
Oh, dude, how was that Paradise team?
Oh, it was fine, except that he wasn't there for the first fucking 3 weeks. I was really annoyed. That's the number one problem I have in the RD2L team, actually, is that people just don't fucking show up. When people, like, they threw the last game that we played, and that's why we lost. But when we have our whole roster there, before that game that everyone threw, we were undefeated. But just people don't fucking show up. And that's what Paradise did last year. You just didn't fucking show up. So, of course, you did bad. And then everyone else got discouraged, and then they started showing up. We got a bunch of old assholes who have no life on my team this year. So we're doing great.
The older, the better.
That's what I'm saying. I think there should be. I think that I absolutely demand that there is an age column next year in the draft sheet so that I can pick nothing but old people. I legitimately think this is a good thing. You should know how old your players. I'm not kidding. It's an extremely important part of building your team.
I agree.
Is like having a good age mix, because if you have nothing but young players, you're gonna, like people like Star Ender, are just gonna tilted over everything and just cry like babies because they don't win every game. And you can't. I mean, you can't make a good team with that. You gotta have like a good age mix.
That's fair.
Oh, Claire, put your blog back up, bitch. I think that's all I got.
Any shoutouts?
Like good shoutouts?
Good shoutouts, not just call-outs, dude.
I
mean, the Flame's cool, but
I already made a good shout out, but I'll make it again. Shout out to Luth. He's the best support player in Seal. Sorry, Nuts. Sorry, Danny, but Luth, best support player in D2L. Good guy. Should get more credits for what he does. Oh yeah, fuck you, Derpy Dots. Fuck you, Chance, for shitting at my RD2L team for no reason. But actual shout outs. Luth. I think just Luth. I'd suck his dick. If he asked me to. Like, politely. If he demanded it, I wouldn't do it.
Consent.
If he asked me politely, I would be like, yeah, I'll just suck it, I guess. I've never done it before, but like, why not? Hey, shout out to my team as well for being a bunch of old assholes. Shout out to 659 for not going crazy over the last couple months or so, because we're a bunch of maniacs.
All right, cool. Well, it was great having you.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. Cheers.
Cheers.